All right, Schlockmeister fans, another review from my previous channel. From the 6-pack volume 1, we're going to watch something here called Mark of the Witch. Let's check it out. Our film starts with a woman being hung. She's an accused witch in the 1600s.
Hear me now, you good men of Lancashire. And you will remember my words till. And you may be get from King Lyn's courtyard to the very gates of hell. Black lucky hammerhead, rowan tree and red thread. Her eyes.
Great opening tune. Very melodic.
Into an urn of fire. My brother stood there eagerly and watched her pour the wine.
Tarot cards, witches, grandpa.
We are in a bookstore, a college bookstore.
Well, we're studying the psychology of superstition this term. You know, way back to the pagans and how they worshipped fire and water and how it grew into various kinds of belief in magic.
This is Jill. She stumbled upon a witchcraft book. Later on that night, Jill takes that book to a party.
Mac, wait till you see what I've got. Listen, we can have our own black magic sort of thing. Honestly, I've got it all right here.
Let me see.
Oh no, just call the class order professor and you can be surprised with everybody else.
Is it?
Her professor is at this party.
Hold all right.
A measure of powdered affinate, grinded with the ashes of 3 toads and a newt.
What's a newt?
Mac, is this thing for real?
And that's her boyfriend on the right, Alan.
Like how much powder?
She convinces everyone to try a ritual.
Cup of wine. Oh, how about it? Who's ready to summon a witch? Yeah. Everybody, we ready?
So here's their attempt to summon a witch.
Harry. Hear ye, mighty one, O great mother, high priestess of the devil, called among men since time immemorial. Great book of Advent.
What?
Never mind.
And now Jill appears to be possessed.
Is this my home?
Oh, come off it, Jill. Cut it out. Is this my home?
Almighty Thursday.
The hung witch from 300 years earlier has possessed her body.
McIntyre Stewart. Or has it been 322?
I think that's about enough, young lady.
I have spent 3 centuries in hell waiting to meet you again. We have much to do, you and I, and we will begin at once.
He annoyed you.
Take care, McIntyre. I become annoyed easily. While
How long?
that depends on you. I need your help.
What do you want me to do?
Just teach me. You live in a strange world, McIntyre. I have need to know my way about it.
Ellen, this is not Jill. Now, I know it looks like her, but not if you look closely. It's Jill's body, but Jill is not inside.
Well, how to put it? But as long as Jill's body's alive, we've got to get her back. What does she want anyway?
I don't know yet, but whatever it is, we've got to stop it.
But how?
A mark. What she called the witch mark.
So he has this mark on him. Basically what this means is he is the descendant of the person who burned her at the stake 320 years earlier.
It may be our best chance.
Archangels, return thee unto the earth.
And now our possessed witch is doing witchy things.
Come forth, I long to see you again. Belphegor.
Ellen and I have done everything we can to cover up whatever it is you're trying to do. But it's time to know what.
Perhaps, McIntyre. Perhaps I'm not trying to do anything. Have you considered I may have an insatiable desire for my first demon lover?
Well, demon or no demon, I guess she wants to love her.
together sometime.
You mean it, Jill? You and me?
Oh, you interest me, Harry, and I thought, well, we could just sometime.
Sometime, huh?
Body.
Accept his mark upon my body.
And submit myself to him in body and soul.
And submit myself to him in body and soul.
Forever into eternity.
Harry's gonna regret getting involved with her.
Alan.
Just take a drink of this for Harry. A fitting memoriam.
And now this chick is under her spell.
Accept his mark.
With the sign of the holy. Hey, Mac, wake up. I'm sorry, Alan. I must have dropped off.
So Mac and Alan are trying to find a way to exorcise this witch.
They are running code 3 to the county hospital, but I believe that she was 12 on the scene. I think she'll be DOA. Her name, according to identification on the body, was Sharon Hargrave, but with hope.
You know we've got to. Good Lord. 2 murders.
Oh, really, gentlemen, I haven't murdered anybody. I can't help it if you're 20th century people are so fragile.
So they devise a plan.
I think this thing will work. But I don't know for sure. She's due here at 10.
Which apparently involves a ritual.
Time's nothing to the devil's favored child.
So a struggle ensues, and they try to force her eyes open and try to place this crucifix on her chest. He tries to avoid kissing her, but he can't help himself, and then he does kiss her, and then he gets zapped away, and well, you see he's got a noose around his neck. It's like he went back in time or something. And that's our film. All right, let's talk about Mark of the Wish, 1970, starring a cast of virtually no one. The main actress is played by Anitra Walsh, who apparently died in 1980, age 32, pretty young. She only did one other movie besides this one. Trying to find some information about her online. Cute actress, and there's really nothing about her. They know she died somewhere in New York, and that's about it. I'm curious if anybody knows. Anyway, let me know. Anyway, Mark of the Witch, the movie starts out like in 1638 or something like that, 300 years earlier, 400 years almost now. And we see a witch being burned at the stake, basically putting a curse on everybody, blah, blah, blah. You know what those witches did back then, according to these films. So fast forward to modern times, which in this case, modern was 53 years ago in 1970. And we have, it's basically like a college campus area. This woman, a young college student, goes into a bookstore and buys a book. It's about witches or witchcraft. So she goes to this party. I think it's her professor there. His name was Mac. And then she has her boyfriend, Alan. And she starts talking about witches and this thing and that. And everybody decides, hey, let's do one of these rituals in this book. So they do that and do some sort of spell incantations. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but nothing really happens. Nobody really thinks much of it. But the next thing you know, shortly after, Jill, our lead actress here, starts acting a little weird. It turns out, near as we can tell, that she's like possessed by this witch who was burned, 350 years earlier. And she wants revenge. Now, it turns out this professor guy, Mac, has this little symbol on his arm, like a birthmark. It looks like an S, basically, and she has the same birthmark. Turns out that's some sort of mark of the witch or whatever, and that professor guy apparently is an ancestor of the person who had her burned all those years earlier, or who had the witch burned all those years earlier. So now she's possessed by this same witch, and now this witch wants to get revenge by killing the ancestor of the person who got her. So that's basically the rest of our film is the pursuit of this guy. Ultimately, the boyfriend and the professor team up with each other. They figure out what's going on, and they try to look in the book themselves to find out a way to combat this. And there's some sort of confrontation near the end of this movie. The three of them are in a room, and there's a lot of screaming going on, and Jill is kind of like pushed up against this wall, and Mac has this like crucifix that he's pushing on her, and he pushes it on her chest, and the next thing you know, like zap, he disappears. And next thing you know, we see him like with a noose around his neck, and then the movie ends with him being hung. It's like he went back in time and got hung, while apparently Jill was free, exorcised of this witch. I don't know exactly, but that's how the movie ended. So there you go. That is Mark of the Witch. Not much more to tell you about it. There wasn't really any gore in this movie. There was a few deaths, a couple of brief nude scenes. Like I said, the main actress there was kind of cute. She had a nude scene, a couple of them, I think. I think I read that there was a longer version of this film with more nudity in it, although maybe this was the longer version with the nudity and there was actually a shorter version which didn't have any. That could be, who knows. But yeah, the movie, it looks like it's cheaply made, but the picture looks well done. And, you know, for what it was actually pretty decent. A very short film, 78 minutes long, but it flowed really nicely. This movie's better than it should be. I'll just leave it at that. So anyway, Mark of the Witch. Now I have it on this 6-pack volume 1 that Code Red put out several years ago. They made 3 of these volumes, volume 1, 2, and 3, and they're pretty scarce. I believe they only made 500 copies of each. So I was very happy to track these down. And this was about like 5 years ago when I tracked these down. At that time, you could get each one for about $50, maybe 30 to 50 in that range. I think volume 1 was more sought after, more expensive, but to collect all 3, at least at that time, you were going to probably pay maybe about $120, which I think is about what I paid. Maybe they're more now, maybe they're more scarce now. I suspect they would be, but they're kind of cool. There's 6 movies on each one, and I reviewed all of them. So if I haven't re-reviewed them yet, they're coming real soon. So anyway, that's it. It's Mark of the Witch. I'm guessing it's also available on some other DVDs. But again, I don't know. Are these all public domain movies? I'm not sure, but I'll leave a link to something down below. I don't think these 6-packs are actually on Amazon, but maybe they are. If they are, I'll leave a link to that. But if not, Mark of the Witch is probably available. I'll look into that. So check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Mark of the Witch. If you've seen it, watch it. Bye.